Attention gamers, I would like to begin this video with a new segment called, Should Rav Have Reported? So here are the facts that you as my jury will need to come to a decision. For the first time in weeks, I decided to play a ranked game of League because even though my anger management therapist advised against doing so, I hadn't felt the urge to tweet about why this game sucks worse than a dead blowfish in a while, and sure enough I was immediately met with pain due to Scarlett Johansson on my team getting bullied so bad that she dropped out of school in 5th grade, leaving us to fend off these hormonal high schoolers by ourselves. So let's talk about the suspect in this case. The accused went by the name of I Gotta Go Poop and was playing the bladed idiot from Ionia. The game started off like every silver elo solo queue game was designed to, with our autofilled top-ass hat going mid and prompting a full-blown kindergartner level of intelligence argument between my team in chat, which resulted in name-calling, support shaming, and exploiting the results of background checks just to ensure that they all hate each other before the game even begins. And then of course not 6 seconds later I hear this. And then the rest of my point of view as the victim in this case looked like this.
Killing spree. A summoner has disconnected.
But I found some additional surveillance footage as evidence in this case. Thanks to the replay system, we can see the actions of I Gotta Go Poop on the night of the crime. Her first feed actually seemed legit. Cheddar cheese level 2 ganks have toasted my anus in the past too, so I will let it slide, despite the fact that her flash at the end made me cringe so much that I shitted a bit in my pants. Fast forward literally 40 seconds and she decides to jab one of those blue-robed hoodlums in the throat, which results in her sped level 3 ass eating a few laser beams from the statue. Now you are probably saying, Rav already showed the clip of her overextending and getting flung into tower, but I assure you this is a new clip, as it turns out the dumb broad just needs to die twice back to back in 30 seconds to the same sped moron mistake to learn her lesson. Add one more poorly picked fight with Mr. Waternoose, which ended in a scene from the Chainsaw Massacre, and I Gotta Go Poop spent the rest of the game like this. So the question is, did I Gotta Go Poop just have to go poop? Or was she just your typical cancerous toxic piss pit League of Legends player that you run into almost every single game in this compassionate community of low ego peen stroking asshats? And to anyone else who feeds 4 times and then leaves a game, I would like to politely ask you to chortle my nutsack. Now if you are ready for me to show the power of grasp tank runes on 3 more ADCs, please flash and ignite onto that upward thumb button and subscribe for more. So today you will get some grasp gameplay on counting Dracula, and then I go tank on Obama's wife / Melania, or whatever nickname makes me not a bad person. Also don't forget there is less than a week left to enter into the free PC giveaway where me and the boys bought a dope rig that one of you will own one day, link in the description. So this game starts with me being stuck with another sped Scarlett Johansson who lost her virginity before the second wave of minions, only to proclaim that she too will be taking a big piss all over my LP by AFKing as well. Then a minute later I notice the battle tank Caterpillar is caught off guard being supported by that banging blonde, and her outfit is showing just enough leg to have him rocking a half chub, so he takes himself deep in the river to whack one off and gain his focus back. And I pick up on the fact that this light binding babe is fragile and all alone, so I flick on the ravenous Rav switch and start peppering her, but my damn goat of a support has the game sense of a watermelon picking lint out of his belly button 6 screens back until he joins in entirely too late, and I end up getting plucked, cucked and fucked in the a-hole, giving me a strong dose of vitamin tilt and prompting me to ask earmuffs what was going on in his pea-sized head. But things start to turn around when we catch Gimli taking a quick piss in the bushes, and our roided up kitty does a hop into turnaround psych bitch hop again combo, and I follow up with a long purple peen to put a seatbelt on the dwarf before they knock him around. Then the pathetic circus consisting of a sexy baton twirler and a walking weaponized larva flee off into their turret, but the buff kitty isn't done as he runs into the bushes to play a game of peekaboo with hooded Henry before netting the metal moth baby and letting me thin beam the battle bot for the kill. Then the sex slave with the staff lets one of my stealth traps sneak a peek up her skirt, and I follow up by asking her to stand still for a second as the goat does nothing useful, and I let the worm spit in my face a few times. But that's good enough for me, so I zoom the hell out and tell that slimy shitball to dance for me as I count to 3 with perfection before firing a 4th at the hottie to warn her that daddy is coming for that ass in a minute. And I am a man of my word, so I rip through the Red Robe Academy to get a glimpse of the green bean calling a cab, so I flash and yell 4 right in her face for the kill. Then a beam of blue light from the sky is letting me know that my top laner has returned to the game. I put some long-range glue under the Dizzy Dancer to assist the boys before zooming out only to get a fat cock blocked by the bronze butt nugget, so I take out my anger by waking up Blue Buff and then taking my tantrum too far by tickling the fat frog just because I felt like pissing it off. The goat is finally starting to understand that when the flimsy floozy gets too cocky and overextends we can collaboratively slap them blonde boobies with ease, so the goat lobs her up for me to alley-oop her back to base before I Amazon Prime deliver 3 big boys right to the dome of that walking tin can. Then I see the spitball starting to get the best of Mr. Shit Support, so I perform some last-minute CPR with a heel to keep him alive and then punish the punk that was spitting on him. I run mid to see Gimli has lit himself on fire like a psychopath before killing my top laner, so I run up to interrupt his slime slurping fest with an auto and a root before I shout to score some more dough as Rengar selects the prismatic pussy and presses delete. Then I catch the metal mouth breather texting, so I launch a purple peen and zoom out for the execution as the knife sales lady comes in to cut me, but I am committed to missing all of my shots before letting her spin shit on me as my greed results in an easily avoidable death. We see the knight in dying armor pull the bronze buzz cut into the closet to get freaky, so naturally everyone from both teams run over to find out who took it up the ass as they come out, and Cat immediately nabs some sloppy seconds and I toss a hot potato at 3 of them to juggle before starring in a film called Bush Pussy picks off the posse with an impressive auto attack performance before I right click the file called Sexy Blonde and move it to the folder called Fountain. Then my team decides to single file stack up with their pants pulled down to get spanked one at a time, resulting in 3 of them being dead, so I do a quick super thread the needle to execute the broken bullshit teleporting dagger dancer to delay the siege. My team wins a heated worm jerk off contest in river, and then I start to chase Metal Man away. The pursuit continues as I prove that ADCs are in a good place, as having 10 kills results in a negligible amount of damage against a mage that is built over 300 AP, but the CC train continues and my team comes in to help me take him down. Then Spinny Tits gets caught out, so I run up to be absolutely terrible and accomplish nothing useful in what I later will classify as a strategic and fully intentional zoning technique to give them the time to murder Dagger Denise. This allows us to clean up the stragglers and siege the base to bring home the first victory for the boys. Now it's time to consume some boogies on the First Lady. The second game started off a bit rocky because my support was a statue commemorating a man who died from being a total dumbass and engaging in fights that were clearly going to be lost. The first time I tried to humor his stupidity by following up on the dumb engage, which put a few coins in my piggy bank but still resulted in the fragile ass of this First Lady being sent back to base. Then the second time I let the gargoyle go off on his adventure alone and stayed back, which allowed me to keep the trade even while wondering why I put myself through the misery of playing in a 2-person lane. But things started to turn around when some armored up hibachi chef dragon came to creep on my lane, so I gave him a ride on the Surprise You a Dead Bitch Express and we promptly made French toast with the ass cheeks of Anchor Andy. Then Tucker Time Tits is shielding up in his bitch bubble, so I come in to tell him that tying a spectral replica of himself to his body and making it follow him doesn't fool anyone into thinking he has friends. My army of zombie hands prompts him to port back in time to when he was still stupid and dead, but the walking submarine puts the cock in cock block and then I have to make the decision of who to kill, and my dumbass ends up choosing neither as I chase the fat chrome boat with no success. But luckily the boys were able to shave the mohawk without me to put some assist G's in my pockets. Then we are playing a bit of a ram down mid when Anchor Andy grabs the hibachi chef by the tush, which prompts the bat signal to be shined on the ground as my support. The statue of stupidity lands just in time to perform a sprinting headbutt against the spear fisherman as we take him down. A few minutes later and the enemy team domesticated a scuttle crab and took him to his first strip club, and the sight of titties had unexpected effects on him. And now it's on me to stop the giant raging hormonal crab from destroying our base, so I skillfully run straight into a hook forcing my flash, but bladed Barney comes to the rescue with a spiky trampoline to help put the golden grappler in the garbage. Then I see Chester the Jester deep in a standoff with Tucker and his spectral replica that he bosses around, so I snipe some zombie hands to tie him up in the weeds. Then rather than retreating, the false confidence he has from his ability to time travel turns him into a total moron, and we reap the benefits of the dumbass being on the other team in this one. We tame a dragon in river before running into our old buddy fencing Felicia, so my team takes turns making the bitch jump and then we all wave and say bye Felicia. Then we huddle up to coordinate the best way to smear bloody poops over the rest of the stragglers as a bitch bubble slows me down and the bat symbol comes out and I stick in the back of the pack, gently caressing my right click button to finish off the mispositioned babies one at a time. Then I decide to murder some chicklets while I wait for the male stripper to finish showing the statue his nutsack in the bushes before we break and join the party as Gargoyle Gary dashes through the danger zone and Set Ariel bangs the chrome boat. A few of them chase just so they can say bye Felicia again, but I have some business to take care of with Tucker, so I coast as a ghost and get ready to toast this boasty boy. He dodges the ankle grabbers, but we have 3 statues in the area. 2 guarding the perimeter and 1 stupid one walking around, so he tries to fight me but they don't call me Melania the Tank Trumpy Tits for nothing. 2 more big fights then break out. One where my team is off dicking around deep in the woods after I tell them there's no objective whatsoever in the area, but the dumbasses persist, so I Back to the Future Ray beam one of the skedaddling shitbags before helping the morons clean up an ill-advised fight. And then the last fight where the spear fisherman is determined to insta-give me, but he doesn't realize that I am not your typical flimsy ADC, so he fails to tickle me the way he would like and dies an embarrassing death. This prompts a quitter's quorum and finishes off the video, proving that when your support is going to handicap you in the early game, you can just consume some boogers and be a beefcake in the late game to still be relevant as an ADC in 2020. Shout out to the tremendous support by my sugar daddies, and get ready for the first RAV Champion guide this Sunday. Pet your dog, jerk your ween, buy my merch at teespring.com/RAVstore and brush your damn teeth tonight. RAV out.